Over the past year, AAPI hate has drastically increased, and about 3,800 hate incidents such as name calling, shunning, and physical violence were reported against Asian Americans. Many say that these incidents started due to Trump's language in response to COVID-19. In response to the growing anti-Asian violence, the Lynbrook community has been protesting and standing together in solidarity.
Recently, whenever I scroll through my Instagram or my Facebook pages, I see so many articles and so many posts about the recent surge of AAPI hate crimes. Really all started from the Black Lives Matter movement. It was only then I realized that racism can kill and it can hurt people, especially in this day and age. And it's with that realization every single time I see a new post, a new infographic, a new news article about AAPI-centered hate crimes, I physically wince.
As time started to elapse, I started to see more and more attacks throughout the country every day.
Hearing this news over and over again is mentally disturbing for me and my family, but it also makes me grateful for the place, for living in California, because the society here feels a lot more accepting and inclusive when comparing to other areas where this violence occurred. It did also make me think of the Black Lives Matter movement because of all the prejudice, bias, and genocide that was involved during those time periods.
Especially in the last year with a lot of the rhetoric around, the coronavirus, I've been hearing in the news, that there's more incidences. And then when Atlanta happened, it was just this huge shockwave that I think kind of jarred me from the everyday, just hearing about it to now actually just feeling really angry and shocked and saddened that it's come to this.
I first heard about it through the news when Asians were attacked and blamed for COVID, and then more recently, the aggressions in Atlanta and San Francisco.
When I see these posts, I get so sad, and it's so disheartening to see so many people live their lives in fear. And the fact that the Asian American community has to live in that constant fear whenever they go out to public, to San Francisco, to Atlanta, to New York, it's just terrifying. But these horrific cases are impacting almost every sane person in society.
So, these attacks have definitely left me speechless and angry at many people in society. Most of the people who have attacked the elderly have been charged, but they haven't been charged with hate crime, which is a more serious offense, and it can also lead to harsher and more severe punishments, which one of the examples is a longer sentence. One of the most shocking video that I saw was the video of an elderly who had to defend herself from an attacker in San Francisco. This not only made me realize how evil people were, as well as how close the events were happening to my neighborhood, but also made me realize how these people who are being attacked look just like my own grandparents.
And I see posts on social media about these hate crimes, and honestly I'm happy to see them because that means people are paying attention to the issue at bar, that people are trying to stay aware of what's happening in our world, and it just corroborates the fact that there's actually hope in our world.
There are two main feelings I have when it comes to talking about anti-Asian violence. First is anger. I feel angry, very angry at the perpetrators, and it's tough to comprehend their perspective, because whatever motive they had does not give them the right to kill groups of Asian people. And also, I wonder if they felt remorseful after committing these crimes. I wonder if they realized all the harm they've done. And I wonder what led them to do it in the first place.
I see GoFundMe posts, petitions, infographics, case studies on certain crimes, and people finding solace and just reposting these and being open with their personal views. And it's all just amazing. People have taken up this opportunity to talk about their own experiences of racism and hate that they have experienced.
And, running can be a very individual sport. And so we talk a lot about just personal safety. A lot of us are, female runners, Asian American, who who run by ourselves, and their families. I have a friend whose family tells her, like, don't go out running anymore, don't go out by yourself. And that's kind of, hard to hear. Like, you don't want to lose that kind of independence.
And I think the first step to approach this is to make people aware of all the incidents that have been occurring around the world. I would also tell others to be more accepting and to make others who have these racial differences feel like they belong and find ways to build connections with them. And it's easy to say but hard to do, but we need to start trying to set aside these racial differences people have, because in the end we are all human, and try to be more empathetic or putting yourself in other people's shoes, because imagine if one of your close friends or family members died because of this irrational reason.
For example, you can share this information on your social media platform, or you can have a discussion with people and educate them more.
At the end of the day, we're all human, and seeing another person suffer from the harrowing effects of racism is just heartbreaking.